Hey guys, it's Greg and Corey here with the Shooter's Mindset. As you can tell, Jennifer is not here today. She has to do like work at the job that pays the bills, so we are again left unsupervised. We are here with Scott Greene, fresh off of his IPSC Shotgun World Championship win. Um, Hopefully he'll do more talking than Corey and I tonight because he probably has a whole lot more cool stories than we do.
I don't know about that. I just
So
got one good story.
I'm ready. So, Scott, let's take a brief moment to introduce yourself for our viewers who aren't familiar with you.
My name's Scott Greene. I'm out of Reno, Nevada. Started shooting, 2014, 2015, something like that. Mainly shoot three gun. Well, I guess not mainly anymore, but I prefer to shoot three gun. Shoot a lot of USPSA, a lot of IPSC, and basically anything can get my hands on, really.
I like it.
Yeah.
Just shoot a little bit of everything.
Yep, I just like to compete.
I understand that. So, what is your background outside of shooting?
Well, I basically grew up playing sports my whole life, and then that started going pretty well. I played baseball in college, and then after that, had to get a job, so that was lame. And then I had that competitive itch, and ended up finding this game through you know I don't even know how I ended up finding it really, but anyway, I found this game and it scratched that itch, and then it kind of got hooked and ran with it, and now it's all I want to do.
I didn't know
That's
you were a college athlete.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah, played baseball in college. It was going pretty well for a while, and then real life sets in. So
Yeah, that explains why you're fast.
not running, but otherwise, yes.
Sorry, tangent. We'll come back
No,
to
no,
that.
you can come back. That's fine.
So, how did you get into shooting?
So there's a couple answers. My parents will say they did it. My parents' friends will say they got me into it because they bought me a BB gun. I could also say it was because of high school. We had a rifle team, so 22s, 10 meters, whatever it was. And so I joined that because shooting guns on campus the good way sounded really fun.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm like, yeah, I can shoot a gun like over there on campus, and they're like, yeah, totally, we do it all the time. So went over there, did that, loved it. uh and then baseball in college kind of took over my life after that. And then the third story would be I had an ex whose father was into guns, and I didn't own a gun yet, and so I ended up buying a gun so I can go shoot with her and her family, and then I got really hooked after
Sweet. What'd you get?
that. It was a
Oh,
It was a Ruger P95 was my first gun that I bought. Yeah,
oh,
big
nice.
brick of a handgun. Had it for a couple of months, sold it, traded up, sold that next gun, traded up, and ended up, I don't know, 4 or 5 guns down the line, finding a competitive side of stuff.
Yeah, is that a double action only 9 millimeter?
I think it was double single. I can't remember. I
Okay.
try to forget that thing, but
I think my dad actually
yeah.
has one of those hidden down in the bottom of the safe.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
it
you
was
were
a interesting gun.
So,
you were
this is
right to
kind of a
move
fun
on.
question. Corey, what was
Hmm.
your first gun?
A Ruger 1022 that I still have, and I shot to GM and Steel Challenge in RFRO.
Nice.
Yeah, it's still got a dot on it that I got about 7 years ago now. And so we used to go out with the judo team, and like I'd hand everyone a 25 round mag and a 10 round mag and just say, keep these full between stages. And your fifth run, switch mags. And we go out with like 4 people and shoot that thing.
I've
Yeah.
I've done that at a steel challenge match before with my Ruger Mark IV. Like there was a couple from work that wanted to try steel challenge, and they're like, we'd rather do this with 22 than a a 9 mil. It's like, okay, we'll shoot mine. And then I think my brother and Jen also ended up coming, and it's like, here, shoot this. And then somebody else from the match, their gun broke. I was like, here, shoot this. It was great. We had a whole like mag loading army.
Oh,
Nice.
oh, that's awesome.
So Scott, what all are you currently doing in the industry besides for shooting?
So I actually work and I manage all the production for LAG Tactical. We're a CADX manufacturer / injection molding company out of Reno. Make holsters, mag pouches, you name it, that kind of stuff. So I work there full time along with shooting.
Sweet.
Do you
Mhm.
enjoy working in the industry?
Yes and no. Mostly yes. From my experience, it's pretty laid back. We're not some giant, multi-million dollar company. We're a smaller company. We've only got like 12, 13 employees, so it's pretty laid back. It's fun to get a lot of connections made. That's great. And actually the people are great. I love not having an HR department. That's fantastic.
It's very important in the
So,
firearms industry.
so yeah, so I mean, I can't really complain too much. I'm pretty happy.
It is pretty awesome. Like you always hear people that are like, don't do your hobbies for work because then it'll become work. But like also like, I mean, I guess like if your hobby was making holsters, then that would become work. But like being in the industry, but not like, I don't think you're still killing your hobby by just it being in the same industry. I think would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and luckily for me, I was sponsored by them before I was working for them full time, so I already liked them anyway. It was a great little transition there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And one thing you mentioned was like, there's so many fun people in the industry.
Hmm.
You really do get to work with a lot of like cool, fun people. And yeah, that I don't think that can be overstated. It's really, really different from other industries.
Yeah, it's a small world, and the whole shooting industry is a pretty small world. Competitive shooting is an even smaller world inside of that world, but the people you meet are
Yeah.
pretty awesome because we're all like-minded people, so
Hmm.
it's
Oh
great.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that would go a long way to like not get funny looks when like, someone's like, "Oh, what did you do this weekend?" I shot 1,000 rounds,
Yeah,
blew something off
meanwhile,
10 right.
yeah. Meanwhile, someone outside the industry says 1,000 rounds. What are you talking about? Yeah.
Hmm.
Like,
Greg and
you
Jen asked me why I shot 3 matches in a weekend.
Like, so I've never like gotten a tour of your house over Zoom, but like I just don't understand like how you manage to like keep a house together. Like, is there dishes on the floor?
No, sir.
Like,
There's not a TV.
so it's just empty.
No, there's stuff. It's just guns.
So, what were your goals and expectations going into the World Shoot?
I mean, so it may sound cocky to say I was trying to win, but I was. I had finished 8th at the previous world shoot and had, half the stages go haywire for one reason or another. So I knew I had the potential, and I've shot with Josh, what seems like forever now, who won the last one. And
Yep.
more often than not, he and I are trading things back and forth. But with that previous world shoot, things had fallen apart for me a little bit. So this one, I was highly motivated to go there. And what was the other half of that question? I'm sorry. I forgot the other half.
I land on the brain.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Goals and expectations.
Oh yeah. Oh, expectations. So my main goal, I wanted to win, yes, but my expectation was to try to get a podium. That might have been my main goal, was to get on the podium. Aside from individually, I wanted to get the U.S. team on the podium, if not on the top step, which we damn near got. It was so close.
Yeah,
But yeah, the
those
U.S.
scores were
team,
really tight.
the U.S. team, I wanted on the podium. I wanted me on the podium. I want American flags behind us playing the anthem. The whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for folks that don't know, the American team got silver, but it came down to like a target or two knocked
Mhm.
over as like a no shoot or something like that. It was very, very close.
Yeah. So for those who are unfamiliar, for the World Shoot teams, you have a 4-person team, and they take the 3 highest totals of match points and combine them, and that's your team score. And once we combined our team score and the winning team score, we both had over 4,000 points, something like that combined, and we had lost out on the gold medal by less than 4 points
Yeah,
out of over
that's
4,000.
oh,
We were
that's so
right. We were
wild.
right there. Right there.
It's so wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you mentioned you'd been before.
Mhm.
Did you train differently this time? Having shot an IPSC match like internationally, everyone says it's wildly different. So what did you do different in training?
Compared to 3-gun or the last World Shoot?
Both.
Okay.
Let's do both.
3-gun, it's not. People want to think it's like this whole crazy different game. It's really not. You're still shooting shotguns. They just put things you can't hit in front of it, right? It's not
Right.
overly complicated. So you just take. You have to learn your chokes. You have to
Yep.
learn your chokes at various distances, and that's it. It doesn't have to be overly complicated.
Yeah.
So it's really just learn to shoot around things. Compared to 3-gun, the speed is still
Hmm.
there. There's still some open targets. The movement's all the same kind of stuff we do in 3-gun. Same kind of stuff you do in USPSA. Position work, and entries, exits. All the whole 9 yards there. But people want to overcomplicate the no shoots and the concept behind them. But it's not that. It's not that much. Like, just learn your chokes, have a spreadsheet, have some kind of picture on your phone, something to reference,
Hmm.
and then just trust yourself. Yeah.
One thing Varick mentioned was there wasn't as much shooting on the move. Did you feel that same way?
That Yeah, I do. Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of that this time, but that's actually kind of what I expected from IPSC. So I've shot probably I don't know, 4, 5, 6 international IPSC matches.
Hmm.
And the general feel is always shoot from here and then go over there, shoot from there, then so on and so forth down throughout the
Right.
stage. So I had that expectation going into it. And previous experience shooting IPSC shotgun has helped with that, so I wasn't too surprised with it. There was a couple instances of shooting on the move, but I would say you only had maybe 20% of the targets you could shoot on the move if you wanted to, and
Okay.
even then it might have been
Yeah.
risky. Yeah.
Okay. This is one we always want to ask people, like, how many rounds a week did you go through?
So I'm a little different in that. I only the last month, 2 months were only the real heavy live fire weekends I did before
Okay.
the match. And it would be 100 rounds a day.
Okay.
That's it.
That
Yep.
that's not a lot.
No, it's not. Um, I go out to the range. I have a tiny car. I got a packet full
Mhm.
of some steel. I got to haul out there, set it up, shoot a little bit, drive back. It's half an hour from my house.
Okay.
I'm not trying to spend, 8 to 10 hours at the range. I want to get in, get my work done, get back home and relax, kind of thing.
Okay. So
And
you're
if I'm,
definitely going with a plan.
yeah, I definitely have a plan. Every day has a plan. This day is going to be either this choke at this distance or tight shots or movements. And every single day is reloads because we only get 10-round mags and open.
Right.
So every day you're reloading all the time. I don't think I ever shot in practice more than 4 rounds without reloading ever throughout the 2 months. That was heavy training.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a lot of cleaning.
reloading is big,
Yeah.
especially out there. So, and you're never going to have more than probably 4 or 5, maybe 5 shots in a single
Yeah.
array before you're moving anyway. So I'm not trying to set up 8, 10 steel in a line and just do it for the gram. No, I'm not going to do
Oh,
that.
add 3 gun nation. Let's go.
So yeah,
Yeah.
my general practice was I'd take out 5 spring poppers and I'd shoot 3 of them, and I would have
Mhm.
2 of them be no shoots, and I'd shoot that and I'd
Okay.
reload and do that again. And then I would change the distances and I'd change chokes and I'd learn all the variances of that.
Awesome. Did you
Mhm.
do a lot of live fire? Or sorry, dry fire? Yeah, I can't
Um,
brain.
Dry fire, yeah. So leading up to it, I would say again, 2 or 3 months out. I'm starting to do it half an hour a week. I'll do that, and
Really?
then I get to 2 months, and I'll go to half an hour twice a week. Then I'll
Okay.
go to I'm 2 weeks out. Now I'm
Hmm.
going 15 minutes a day, 4 times a day.
Oh,
Then yeah. So
wow.
I'll take the guns. So luckily, again, I'm in the industry. I can take my guns to work. No big deal. We have we
Nice flex.
yeah
Nice. You and Dylan.
we have breaks, every couple hours. So instead of sitting down scrolling my phone, I'm out there dry firing on break. So I
Okay.
get 4 breaks a day. That's another hour right there of practice. So I'll be doing that
Huh.
the last 2 weeks of before I leave.
Dry fire
That's interesting.
breaks at work. That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's a super cool breakdown too. I don't think I've heard of someone increasing kind of exponentially in dry fire.
Yeah, I don't want to burn myself out, right? I don't want to.
Yeah.
You want to build up, calluses where you need them, and the
Right.
strength where you need it. But I'm not about to dry fire an hour every day. Sure, there are times when that's beneficial.
Yeah.
But I don't want to burn myself out. I've been doing this long enough now that I take breaks. I'm not afraid to take breaks at all.
They're great, aren't they?
Yeah, so good. They're so good.
Oh,
Yeah, and I'm at a point now where I know what I need to get to the point where I want to compete, and so I'll build up to that point.
nice.
Mhm.
Okay. So 100 rounds a week is
100 rounds
probably like,
no, 100 rounds a day on the last
oh, a day. A day
two
on the
week
last.
2 weeks. The last month. Last month was 100 rounds. So at 300 rounds a week. I only had 3 day. I
Okay.
have 3 day weekends, so I would shoot 300 to 400 rounds on a week for the last 2 to 4 weeks. Before that, it would only be about 200 rounds a month, something like that.
That's still a pretty light live fire schedule compared to what I've heard from some of the other guys. Like you brought up
Yeah.
Josh, like
Yeah, I can't shoot 500 rounds a day. That's not in the budget. I don't have an ammo sponsor. Wink, wink. Somebody help me out. Yeah. So
you
it'd be
also
great.
you have smaller shoulders and
Yep. Yep.
maybe
Yeah.
yeah.
So would I like to shoot 500 rounds a day? Yeah. Don't have a range in the backyard. Don't have a vehicle to haul all that crap there all the time. Um, I can't. It's not in my world. So I do what I can with what
For the listeners, I'm shaking my head. I would not like to shoot 500 rounds of shotgun a day.
I got.
Oh, it'd be fun.
Uh,
Yeah. So, give yourself 200 to 300 rounds a weekend and 5 pieces of steel. You're good to
yeah,
go. Yeah. Five
that's
small pieces of
awesome.
steel. Yeah.
So we brought it up earlier that you played a college sport.
Hmm.
Um, do you think that being an athlete at kind of a high level has helped you in shooting, just in general?
So, yes. And I know the next question on the list, this is going to tie into it. I think it does. I think there are people who are athletic and people who are unathletic. Can you get
I
better
agree.
at shooting if you're unathletic? Yes, you can. Are you going to win a match if you're unathletic? You're probably not going to. I'm sorry.
No,
Um,
you're not.
if you're athletic, you're going to do okay. You're gonna find a way to adapt to what works for you. If you're athletic and you have a lot of determination and you work hard, you could probably win pretty easily. Well, not easily. You'd be able to compete very easily if you're competitive and you have some athletic ability.
Huh. Do you think baseball being like a hand-eye coordination sport is an advantage for shooting?
I do. I think hand-eye coordination is the biggest thing for shooting because
Okay.
we all know guys who are great shooters and are big. I'll say they're large humans, large mammals, and they shoot very well.
Yeah.
That may be because they have some pretty good hand-eye coordination. Are they athletic? Then you got to start defining what's athletic, right? You go into hand-eye coordination versus can you lift weights really good? It's a
I feel like we're
it's a
beating
thing.
around the Sam Larkin bush.
No, not Sam. Sam's an athlete. I'll give Sam athlete.
I
He's good.
know.
Yeah.
He's just a big guy.
He's a big guy. Yeah, but he's a coordinated guy, but he's a big guy. And he's good at shooting. I think that's mostly
Yeah.
I would call him an athlete. But there are people who are in great shape, who are horribly uncoordinated, who are not going to be
Hi.
great, who are not going to be great athletes. So, I would say hand-eye coordination is a big factor.
Yeah, I was just curious because I was thinking about it just in the back of my mind. And you and Christian are both world champions in IPSC, and you both played college baseball for
Mhm.
a little time at least. So I was just curious about that. Um, Next question, which you did read the questions beforehand.
I did.
Do you think that having worked with coaches before, it's important to work with a shooting coach or an athletic coach for shooting if you want to win like these level matches?
I'm a horrible person to ask that,
Okay.
because I've never taken a shooting lesson.
Really?
Yeah, I
No
am
classes, no anything?
I am fully self-taught and YouTubed. Yeah.
Huh.
Mhm.
So YouTube.
Yeah. So do y'all remember
Okay.
a show called what was it called? Dang it. Big Shot?
Yeah, I
So
do.
it's when they used to follow around, Jerry Michalik and Clint
Hmm.
Upchurch and Max Michelle and those guys. When I first got into shooting, I probably watched every season of that 4 or 5 times through. Once I
Huh.
started shooting, and I was just seeing what are they doing and why are they better than everybody else. It doesn't sound like they're pulling the trigger faster. Sometimes they are, sure, right?
Yeah.
But how are they gapping the field by 30, 40%? It doesn't make any sense. And then you start noticing some small things like Max Michel on one stage stuck in my head. He's got a port and then another wall and a port, another wall and a port,
Yep.
all horizontal on stage, and he's just shuffling port to port. And
Blending the whole thing.
why the hell aren't you running to the port? And then, you go to the range and you try it. And if you
Yep.
unsquare your shoulders and run and reset up, it's like 40% longer to do that than just shuffle over 2 shuffles.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Horribly slow.
yeah, I'm more of a, I'll figure it out myself kind of guy. But
Okay.
also I wasn't about to pay somebody to teach me. So, budget's a factor. So,
I mean, that's really impressive though,
mm.
to be able to learn like that and learning itself being a skill. That's cool. I wish I had that.
Mm.
A little jealous.
Yeah, I was also obsessive for the first 4 years. So once I started, I shot my first match and then I didn't miss a single weekend, not one weekend for 4 years. I shot every weekend for 4 years at a match, or I would say at least 45 matches a year. My first four
Yeah,
years. Yeah, something like that.
checks
I was
out.
upset. I
It's
was
a good
obsessed.
schedule.
Yeah, I was obsessed.
That's a great schedule.
Mhm.
Corey's getting excited here with that kind of match schedule. He's like, oh, 45. Yes, I could.
No,
That's like a
that's local matches I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, big
Yeah,
major
yeah.
travel matches. Yeah.
No, no, no. You die. I did 65 in a year with 12 majors, and
Ooh,
it's not good for home life.
yeah, that's rough.
So we're about at the midpoint of the show. Remember, if you're watching us live on Facebook, ask any questions you may have in the comment section of the video. We'll ask it live on air. Other ways to catch us, you can always check back on the Shooter's Mindset Facebook page. The videos all stay up there forever. We usually upload to all the podcast apps the night after the show. Maybe not tomorrow because it's my birthday. So maybe the day after.
Happy
Happy
early birthday.
birthday.
There you go. And then finally, everything eventually ends up on the Shooter's Mindset YouTube page. So that's a great place to look up past episodes.
Greg, I'm scrolling through the lives,
We're not
but
asking.
John McClane is in here.
Oh no.
I cannot keep a straight face. I love that guy so much.
Love you, John.
Hey, Tyler and Mike both wished you a happy birthday, though. So,
Thanks, guys. You the best.
Oh, I'm sorry, John. I love you. I can't read any of these out loud.
Oh, I want to pull it up so bad right now. Oh, I want to do it.
Oh, nope, nope. We don't have any lives at all, Greg. None. No lives. Okay. So switching gears, trying to get some composure back. Three gun is not exactly growing, but
True.
a lot of the individual disciplines seem like they could. Like IPSC rifle is starting to kind of move in the right direction with carbine series. What do you think is the key to growing like shotgun and IPSC style shooting and three gun for, I guess, the extension of that?
Um, I think someone's just gonna have to put a match on the ground and then wear the losses on the cheek for the first couple of years of putting that match down. I
You've
think
run
that
matches before.
yeah. Yeah. Someone's gonna have to just put it on the ground, run it,
Mhm.
and then continue to do it. We've had a couple of things like we mentioned before the show, the Lucas series that was on
Yeah,
the ground
yeah.
for a year. 3 of those matches before the previous Shotgun World Shoot. That was fantastic. Didn't have a lot of attendance, but they were great matches. They were run great, and it was
Oh,
a
they're
ton of fun.
super fun.
They were
Yeah,
so
Super fun.
fun. They
yeah,
even got
if
Greg shooting them.
yeah. So I mean, if that was still around today, I think it'd be doing great. I think it would. Especially up north. Those guys up north love to shoot. The guys on the East Coast love to shoot shotguns. There's a lot of that. I think it's just gonna take having a match on the ground and trying to break down this weird divide that this country has between tactical shooting and competitive shooting. I don't know why it is the way it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, if you want to learn to shoot a gun, shoot a gun. If you want to learn tactics, go learn tactics. They don't have to be overlapped every time you do them. Like,
No,
it's fun to turn money into noise. Come do it out here. Sure, some of us wear ridiculous NASCAR jerseys. It's great. But
yeah. And some of us
it's
LARP. It's
yeah,
fine.
we're just out there having fun. Like, come have fun. It's a this bring friends to the match, get them hooked the same way I got hooked, and I think it'll go from there.
Except the AK guys, right?
Oh God, I've shot one AK match. It's wild.
They're okay. They're fun in their own way. I just wish that like the costume didn't involve the mag in the gun the whole day. That's my one thing. Everything else is
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. I shot Red October one year, and when I saw someone in a full on bunny mascot costume shooting a full auto RPK,
Well, yes, America.
it was awesome. So yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of ways to shoot. That's one of them.
How can you not love it though, right?
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I just think we need to break down that divide between tactical shooting and competitive shooting, and just call it going shooting. You know.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
fair. I'm down
Yeah,
with it.
yeah, that's a big point. Just there's so many people that are like, "Oh, I'm going shooting this weekend, and I'm just gonna go do whatever." Like, it's more fun when you have like targets that someone else sets up.
Mhm.
Well, it used to rotate, right? You used to have, a couple matches a month, and a club would set up, and it was, 5 to 10 guys, and they would set up their match, and then they'd go to the next town over, and they'd shoot that match.
Hmm.
And yeah, you'd help out, but there was always that core group that arrived. It's, whatever, dark 30 and set up the majority of it. But I think you're right. I think it's man, setting up a three gun or a shotgun match with a lot of steel is a lot harder than leaving PRS targets in the field.
It's true.
I love setting up my NRL 22 match. I got a box of targets this big, and I can't pull it this high, but my one target box and a couple props, and I'm done. So we got a few on the live section that we can read now.
Oh,
Oh,
thank God.
that would, John. Way
Oh,
to ruin
thank
it for
you. Thank
everybody.
you, Ruben.
Ruben. Love Ruben.
So John would like to know, what's your one big takeaway from the match?
I don't know if I have a singular takeaway from that match. I think the whole experience was my takeaway, the whole thing. Uh, Going halfway around the world, going with, friends, eating exotic food, being in amazing weather instead of back home in the freezing cold. All of it, and I guess winning is pretty good too, I guess. But the whole thing was what I took away. It wasn't one singular aspect.
That's an acceptable answer.
I'm glad you put weather over winning. That warm winter.
I hate the cold so much. I hate it.
You
I
really
hate it.
do, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
So Ruben said it was amazing watching Scott have an absolutely elite mental performance from day one all the way through the match finish.
Thank you, Ruben. Couldn't do it without you. If you weren't there to, if I start getting a little squirrely, he was there to look at me and say, "So what?" Like that actually literally happened. There was some stuff that started slipping away here and there, and then it may have soaked in my head for longer than I should have let it. And he's sitting right next to me, telling me, "So what? Who cares? Go shoot more." Whatever it was. Yeah. So I couldn't have done it without you, buddy. Thank you.
So also when we were talking about setting up matches and stuff, Mike Sexton said he knows a place if anybody's looking to do that, Clinton House Plantation.
Oh, I know a guy with a place. Yeah. All right.
All right. So what were your favorite and least favorite stages at the World Shoot?
So my favorite would not be a singular stage, although the one that was themed with cut out dinosaurs was pretty awesome. That's pretty cool. So yeah, all the big stages, IPSC follows the 3-2-1 rule pretty well, very strictly. The big stages were always great. Us Americans tend to do better at the big, longer stages anyway. A lot more shooting, a lot more moving. It's great for us. But
America.
my singular favorite stage was actually the very last stage of day one. It's not because I had a great stage. I didn't have a great stage. I had a good stage. But it was the last stage of the very first day, and every person on the U.S. men's open team got progressively better, and we all shot a really good last stage, and it was the best feeling walking out of there, having all four of us having shot a great stage.
That's
That was
super
my
cool.
favorite. Yeah. Least favorite was all the low ports. Low ports suck. I hate them. That's about it.
How tall are you?
6'4".
Yeah, yeah. So there's a little context there.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least you don't have a 25 round tube and a low port.
That's true.
10 round mags helps a lot.
Not that bad. It's not too bad. But, enough with the low ports. Let's bring it up. Yeah. If I got to go down, we can bring out step tools for short guys to get over high walls. That's fine.
Preach, preach. They have to shout hardcore parkour as they go over them too,
Yes,
right?
I love it. I love it.
So where do you go from here? You won the big match. What's your next goal?
Win another one or win that one again, I guess.
Okay.
I'm not. I mean, if there was anything bigger right now, there's rumors about, down the road, this potentially IPSC in general being in the Olympics.
Yeah.
I think that's still a long ways off, at least another 8, 10, 12, whatever it is, 8, 12 years, something like that. And I'll probably have aged out by then. All these young kids are phenomenal. And I
You're
like
talking
food.
about Varric?
No, Varric's one of them. Varric, Wydell, another one. They're all these
Yeah. Yeah.
kids, man. And I like food way too much. So
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 we're talking the
if
Chicago lifestyle, the 4-peat with the IPSC, and then just eat yourself into retirement.
no, I'm still competitive. I'm too competitive to get overly thick. So I think the next one for me is to get the US team, the full team on the top step, and have the US delegation be 1, 2, and 3. So I want nothing but American
Yeah,
flags on that podium throughout it. That's what I want.
America. I
America.
love it.
America.
I love it. Are you going next year to rifle?
I applied. I'm
Okay.
still a little salty about a lot of the stuff that happened on the back end of this shotgun match, but without getting too crazy into it, if it's much simpler than this one was to go to, I'm happy to go. I
Okay.
want to go. I love the match. I love the guys who shoot the match. I love that's in Finland. I love the Finnish guys I've talked to. I'd love to go, but there needs to be some clear changes and stuff done within USPSA to help everyone have better peace of mind about who and why and how they're all going to this match.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so the match is in a little over 7 months.
Mm-hmm.
The team selection was, I guess the application was last Friday,
Mm-hmm.
the second round, right? Because there was one in August before that, but they changed it.
Yeah, the deadline to apply for a slot was the 5th of January 2024, and the match is in August of 2024.
Yeah.
It's too bad 'cause we have, IWI's sponsored rifle match coming up here in a couple of months. But before that even
Yep.
happens, as a qualifier, we are going to have to select teams this month based
Yes.
off of some metric somewhere, somehow.
Yeah.
So
Which we're just going to focus on. Shout out Jeremy and IWI for putting on
Jeremy,
that series.
yes, Jeremy, you're the
That's
man. Yes.
that sounds awesome. I definitely want to make it to one of those.
Yeah.
All right. My favorite part, gear. Let's talk gear because that's what makes you better, right?
Yeah, you buy more gear, you go faster.
There you go. All right. So what shotgun did you use?
So I used a Dissident Arms
A
KL12.
prop.
Look at this. I have a prop. I brought it.
Ooh, props are fun.
Very nice.
Yep.
What red dots you got on there?
These are the 6-minute Vortex Razor red dots. I have 2 of them on there.
Why do you have 2 red dots on a shotgun?
Because he has
since
2 eyes, dummy.
Yeah, one for both eyes. Since I have an empty gun and there's no one in my house, I can do this. So it's for leaning around corners, right? Here,
Yep.
lean around the corner, rotate the gun. You don't gotta switch shoulders to do all that crazy crap. Just roll the gun as you lean around weak side leans.
I just tell people it's for the gram, so I get that question.
Yeah, and to flex,
It's a flex. What ammo did you run?
So thank you, Dissident and Federal, for coming up together with the Action Shotgun line of ammo through Federal. It's specifically made for mag-fed shotguns and the sport that we shoot. And because of that, we had a phenomenal time with our ammo, as opposed to the match ammo that was supplied at that match, which caused many problems for many people and was a big point of contention throughout the whole match. So thank you,
Ooh.
Federal and Dissident and all the guys involved with creating that ammo and getting it over there to us. Thank you, Lan and Mike from Dissident, for setting that up and dealing with all the loopholes that came with it so that the US team could run the, by far the best functioning ammo in the match.
Man, that's awesome that everyone came together to do that. Like you were talking about earlier, people in this industry will bend over backwards to help each other.
Yep.
Yeah. What hat did you wear while you're in the Thailand?
I wore various hats. There were some that didn't have a top, so they call it a visor. No, I didn't wear a visor, but I do have an American flag visor I should have worn, and I'm mad that I didn't have the cojones to wear it. Yeah.
It's okay. You won the match.
So I've got some Dissident hats, got some Vortex hats. Ribbon was nice enough to bring out some Vortex hats with USA flag behind the Vortex logo. It was great.
Nice.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Nice.
and there were various headwear on display at the match.
I wonder if Ruben has one of those that doesn't fit him.
I bet he does.
I wonder.
I bet he can find one.
I was also wondering if any of this.
Oh, Greg. Are there any safe for viewing lives?
Yes. William said both Gold Star to Federal Premium, as well as asked how different was the match versus Nationals here.
So I'm assuming he's referring to multi-gun nationals.
Yeah.
Um, so picture half the match being stages 11 and 12, but only being 8 shots. If you didn't like that,
Oh,
that's exactly what half of IPSC shotgun is. It's 8 round stages that are usually going to be sub 6 seconds.
yeah.
And don't mess up because it's literally half the match. You can think you can crush a long stage, but if you mess up half of the short courses that you shoot, you're gonna lose a lot of points and you're gonna be totally out of it. So it's performing on demand. And there's a lot less running than nationals too, which was fantastic. So in IPSC, there was probably only a down in that match in the World Shoot. There was only a downtime of about a second or two between, maybe 3 seconds of movement between the longest points of not shooting to shooting.
Yeah.
And I think there were some multiple 60-yard runs in nationals, that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
that was
Still
the biggest
better
difference.
than 200 yards from fallen brethren.
Yep, that sounds horrible.
It was fun. What can I say?
I was 18, maybe not anymore.
Should we talk about the 30 some odd miles of rucking at Mammoth this weekend?
Greg, I think you should. I think you should tell people about your hot tub experience.
Oh, so it was great. While all the Mammoth competitors were out, sleeping in their tents and there's ice on the ground and everything's still wet and everything like that. I had a hard day standing behind my spot and scope set up here. So I just, drove the 11 minutes from base back to my house and went and sat in the hot tub, had myself a nice drink. After that, I showered off with my 3 shower heads going all at the same time before I got in my king size bed. The competitors really enjoyed hearing about that in the morning, especially the first stage when it was still ice on the ground and cold and stuff.
I'm surprised they made you stand as an RO. I thought they would have taken care of you with a chair, maybe a lazy boy.
So I had the chair. So I have the fat man back here. I got it from Cabela's. It's extra wide, and I got it because back in the 3-gun and the pistol days and stuff, like every once in a while I had a chair when something was a little bit slow, and I could sit in it with my belt on. And the pistol.
Oh,
It's nice. And I mean you can just kick back. I actually took about an hour nap in it on Saturday when the fog rolled in. My stage was almost 1,100 yards, and we got 3 teams through in the morning until the fog rolled in, where we couldn't see the berm that was probably about 120 yards from the firing line, like at all. It was gone.
Meanwhile, we have lost Scott. So.
No, I like stories, man. Keep going. I like hearing about other people's misfortune. It's great.
Oh, yeah, Greg, you're not selling me on that. Not after that story.
Corey, this is all you. It sucks so bad. Like anything painful and torturous to you?
I'm with my man over here. I like food too much, and I don't feel like being cold anymore. I've done enough of that.
Yes.
Cool. Let's hit some shout outs.
All right. Corey, why don't you go first?
Man, I'm gonna shout you out, Greg. Thank you for ROing Mammoth.
No problem.
For all the people that suffered and then had to listen to you tell them about your 3-head shower. This is why we need Jen.
I think they hated me worse when they looked at my chest and realized I was glowing like Iron Man. I'm like, yeah, this Milwaukee heated jacket is the best. I'm like toasting. They're like, what happens when the battery dies? I'm like, I got half a dozen in the truck. I'm good all weekend.
Oh my God. Scott, hit us with your shout outs.
We got to start out Mike and Land Dissident, Ruben, the three of them, my teammates. Shout out to you boys. Couldn't do anything without you guys. Shout out to Jeremy Gresham, IWI, for supporting our team out there. Love you, buddy. Couldn't do it without you. I can just go down the sponsor list, I guess, too, also while I'm at it. But LAG Tactical, company I work for, we happen to supply the men's team with new mag pouches that were all decked out. I don't have one with me, unfortunately. It's on the way to SHOT Show for our booth. But we made some red, white, and blue 3-layered carved USA mag pouches that we all rocked out there.
Sweet.
They look real good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Limcat, Second Family, love you guys. They support me in everything I do. And my wife, actually, too. She was out there with me for that match, and she is the person who understands what I was there to do. And so she came early, and she just ran off and did her own thing for 4 or 5 days while I was shooting. And then we met up after and did our own vacation. So she let me have my space, and that was amazing. Yeah.
Awesome.
And shout outs from me. I wanted to thank you, Scott, for taking an hour and a half out of your time to come and chat with us and let everybody ask all sorts of questions of you. After coming off of such a big win, it's kind of awesome to be in the presence of a world champion.
Oh yes, it's life changing. Huh? Totally.
I see the gold behind you.
Oh, it actually is. Shit.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to shout out PDC Custom for some awesome rifle chassis. There's none back behind me right now. We're still in full spotter mode. And Vortex Optics for Brown Santa just delivered my new Razor LH2 right before this. So, like literally 5 minutes before I got in here, the doorbell rang. So I'm going to go and mount this on a rifle now.
Ooh. Also, I don't think I said Vortex. I totally forgot. Vortex also, second shout out. Love you guys, can do without you. Oh man, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. They know.
They know. All right. So I don't think we have anything else over in the lives.
No, we have banana emojis. We need to end it.
Yep.
So
So
McLean's going crazy, isn't he?
Nope.
Oh, somebody else. Okay, cool.
right. Well, this will be a wrap for episode 428, and we will see you guys next time.
You